is getting through. Try to start a fire like you always do, so I ain't got no love for you. When you say you know me, but you think you know me, but you don't know me better. You don't know me better than me. You don't know me better. You don't know me better than me. You don't know me better. You don't know me better than me. The whirlwind spins and loses control. You took me for a ride and a roll. You know me the most, but you don't know me better than me. Two sides to the story. Flip a coin and play your luck. Take a risk, but you might bust. You still went ahead and broke that trust. You don't know anything about me. Why you tryna play the game for free? Putting nightmares in my dreams, acting like you got the key. Wait, bound and lost, you never knew enough. I can see your ways and called your bluff. No control, I guess you lost the cuffs. The battle for the truth, I see the cards. Racing for the facts, you see the doors. Lies all through the smoke, don't take a pause. Say that you did, but you never knew me. You don't know me better. You don't know me better than me. You don't know me better. You don't know me better than me. The whirlwind spins and loses control. You took me for a ride and a roll. You just thought you know me the most, but you don't know me better than me.
Play yourself, don't play me. Mars, Wolf, Vic Star, Jamie. Don't be confused, that's my G. Turn it up too, setting them free. Gaslight who? Gaslight me. Everybody push up your flashlights, please. You thought you knew, but wait and see. You don't know me.
You don't know me better. You don't know me better than me. You don't know me better. You don't know me better than me. You think you know me, but you think you know me, but you don't know me better. You don't know me better than me. You don't know me better. You don't know me better than me. You don't know me better. You don't know me better than me. You don't know me better. You don't know me better than me.
You have habits just like me. Talk too much with strangers. Get way too serious around family. And I don't have any wishes, but when I kiss you, our lips fit well. And I don't have expectations, but when I daydream, I fall asleep. And our hands melt. It started out as teasing, but I had deeper meaning when I touched your chest. Now I don't know how to act, but if I did,
So we'll keep on starting to fight.
Game 6, off the backboard, Glaskey's there for the clear, and we bang, bang, collects it, off the ceiling, looking for a pass mid, Louis is up, this is off the backboard, Louis for the double!
We are the future.
Spalty's gonna put it away, and the Brainerd victory will win it right there.
Burnsville are your rising star champions.
But the wrong man has the ball. Bad man has the ball. It's still up somehow.
Give it up for your premier champions, the Minneapolis Miracles.
We own the future. We own the future.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we premiere today in St. Paul GM's Spalty.
Hey man, thank you for introducing me a little bit here. I am doing fine, you know, got off work, have another shift a little bit long, unfortunately. But yeah, we are.
Well, okay. We are still in that week one kind of like early teams still kind of figuring out new stuff, how they want to go about things. But I mean, as it feels like major one is eerily close. It feels like I know there's only like art and major, but it feels like it's just a loom much, and I feel like this is super looking. I mean, not only that, have just one game done so far for Chicago, Bemidji, and Bloomington currently. While Brainerd win, taking losses. So I mean, I feel like there's a lot of good of that stated earlier. Then we will have Brainerd, Rochester, and then close out week 2 just as a whole. But I mean, just looking at this current matchup, Avalanche is in Bloomington, and then the dynamic duo Trash and very solid third. Neither team really much to laugh at because they are the best of the best, so can't really crash on them.
And Valerie, technically higher. Have to I believe have played you know, they friend ball have experience, especially and not to say that, you know, Avalanche guys also play together, have to kind of either way who let feud that like genuine, like how is this happening?
That was
I mean that both
pretty
teams
great.
I am in and especially, you know, talking a little wants to make last season not unfortunate. He has a little bit of vengeance going on.
Oh yeah. But quickly moving into predictions here. Salty got winning this.
Oh gosh, Stewie just joined the call. He's looming and he wants to listen to the prediction.
He's trying to scare you into predictions.
He's trying
for
to
him.
sway me right now.
Go
man.
with your heart. Go with your heart.
Okay, so I do think that this Bloomington roster is very strong. Fusion round is a big bet. Gav and likewise obviously playing together in the past. I think it will probably, in my opinion, I had to get. But yeah, no. I think both rosters are great. I do think that Bloomington has the edge.
I
Micro.
think I agree. I think a game off. It's kind of just it's a fight between, okay, is it going to be chemistry that's going to win this, or is it going to be just individual talent that's going to be able to take this one? But I guess we don't have to wait to see anymore. We are going to be jumping here into team number 1.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with you here. And, Gavalanche, being as good as he is, has kind of not had the greatest past few in him. So, hopefully they can kind of turn this around with getting such a good player such as their third rounder here. But, I mean, starting off the bat, almost kind of a little bit of an opportunity there. Cut off Crash on the 50 comes out here. Fusion Bleach trying to get a bump on 1. Not commit to that one, though, from likewise. As a good touch from Fusion. Could be a shot here. Gav trying to get a 50. Not going to find the back of the net, though, as likewise just judging how much boost he has there. But, I mean, the pressure off this 30 seconds has been on this orange already.
It's been a very rare instance that blue side of the field view. Net kind of trying to relieve any of this pressure that he can from offense, but now we see likewise picking for touch, but it goes back to Gavalanche safely. Complete control. Trash not able to find the touch, playing even better there as Gavalanche, but still blocked away. Double demo. Stewie and Trash picking one up. It's an open net, and Moorhead going to be the one.
Beautiful double demo coming out there. Trash just kind of chasing the last man, and with that second demo too, just, I mean, nobody back. And Moorhead starting off strong, despite kind of being on defense the whole time, they do find their one counter attack they need, and that's definitely one way to sort of counter the aggressive play style, is just play defense as much as you can, at least try to get the boost as much as you can on defense, and then just get a counter attack goal, which is exactly what they did. And we'll see if they kind of get another one here, as Gavalanche flying save off the backboard there, likewise having to cut that one off quickly. Does get enough boost to make a play here, could maybe find Fusion out, but Fusion back for some head, leaving likewise alone here. Pass to the middle to Gavalanche, back to Fusion Bleach on 0, able to get a beat here. Going backward is Stewie with a beautiful touch downfield, and this one's gonna look a little scary for just a second, but likewise he's gonna pinch out. Does get denied very quickly. This ball is just so back and forth between both teams right now.
Almost on here, still looking to get their goal of the series with Trash, but that still has some boost. Goes for the dunk on Fusion Bleach. Stewie trying to get some follow there, but not quite able to get it through that Bloomington defense. Now it's a push to the other side. Solid 50, but probably Reaper refusing to leave that ball to Bloomington's hands. Now it's a push. Gavalanche pass over to likewise the pre-jump, but not able to find the touch. That was a good cheeky play, but does not bear any fruit. Stewie hit off corner. It's a shot opportunity there, but I saw another double demo. I think Stewie got both of those, but not able to find it into the back of the Bloomington net this time.
Kind of funny seeing the demos coming out from Stewie more than anything here, considering they have one of the top 10 demoers in Rocket League history on their team. It's kind of funny to think about that. Bubbly Reaper has like on the leaderboard top 10 demos of all time, I believe, which is just genuinely insane. And so it's kind of funny to see, Stewie being the one, but to demo. But I mean, here Trash with an open net here off of a little bit of a mistake. This Bloomington roster is just looking a little rough right off the bat here.
These game ones are always dealer games. How do you want to go about strategizing against your opponent? And it feels like maybe breaking out some of the demos or maybe trying to play a little bit more boost hungry against this Moorhead team is going to be the recipe for success. But this is Premier after all, and we've seen strategy changes happen multiple times per game, so it's entirely up to how well these teams can adapt. Fusion Bleach gets a pass out mid, no one there to take the shot though. That's going to fall safely to the Moorhead corner. Another send out mid, and no one there once again for Bloomington. Likewise going to pick this one up, gets the reset. Trash gets a hand on it though. Stewie just trying to play last man, gets it there. A fake from Bubbly Reaper. Actually, he did get a hand on it, but it just didn't alter the course at all. And now Moorhead up by 3 in game.
What a goal steal. But no, I mean, that's a good play by Bubbly there. He took the winning 50, and it ended up, you know, just kind of finding its way through anyways. So good by Bubbly, using his little brain a little bit there. Like Avalanche, you know, just, I mean, this Moorhead team is just like, despite, you know, that first minute being so awkward for them, have just been outspeeding and outpacing and beating everybody on Bloomington, and Bloomington just happens to be missing the ball quite a few more times than they realistically should, especially at this level of game. You know, these teams will take advantage of misses and mistakes, and that is exactly what Moorhead has been doing right off the bat here.
I think what would benefit this Bloomington team a lot more is there have been multiple instances where a ball will fly into the shooting lane for them, but no one's there to actually take the shot, and the opportunity just kind of goes by the wayside. So I think really capitalizing on those opportunities they've been given. They obviously are not pristine opportunities, but there's something. And at this point, when you're down 3, you've got to just, anything that you can throw at the net is going to benefit you. But we see Moorhead trying to extend their lead, and they're going to be able to. Bubbly Reaper on the pass to Stewie. 30 seconds left, Moorhead up by 4.
Yeah, this is not necessarily what I expected. 4-0 is pretty egregious. You know, Stewie, Trash, and Bubbly kind of just taking this game away here. 30 seconds left. Not really much that can be done other than, you know, at this point you just have to try to win the last 30 seconds. Maybe get a goal, maybe have just better offense than the opponents. But I mean, it's almost looking like another one would sneak through, but likewise on 0 boost, flipping back, able to get that save, also able to get a good clear, maybe going for a sidewall read here. Does connect with that, but it's not going to go just absolutely nowhere here. It's Fusion Bleach cutting that one off quickly. This ball is just kind of sitting in the corner and not able to do much here, as they're not able to score, but you know, at least they didn't get scored on a 5th time in those last 30 seconds. They are going to lose that one, but you know, I'm just interested in seeing how they change things, because that's kind of the name of the game there, right?
Yeah, I mean, okay. That was, look, I don't know how many, or what the stats were on Avalanche. He did go to, I'm assuming to change his car or something, but looking at that, 10 shots for Moorhead, I want to say Bloomington had maybe 4 or 5. It was just such dominating offense, not just in team play, but also in aggression. We did see, I think, a couple goals come out from just really solid demos coming on the back line. So I think Bloomington really needs to start to, you know, get a little bit more on top of that, try and play that boost game a little bit better, or just play against the aggression that Moorhead has been forming during this game 1.
Absolutely. And yeah, server went down for maintenance, and oh my goodness. So this has been happening so much more often since the new update, but honestly, I don't mind that trade-off as compared to having to deal with bots and ranked. Like, I'd rather, you know, server going down a few extra times. You know, it is what it is. You could just throw a server up, it takes an extra 30 seconds. It's not that big a deal. But you know, oh my gosh, speaking of the update, what do you think about the update?
Okay, so it's kind of like back and forth. I've seen people like complain, oh, there's still bots, but it's kind of like this dude's trying to act like a bot just to troll. But I think it's benefiting. It's obviously a little rocky on the start, but you know, that's how things are for Rocket League. They're a little chalked when they start up, but they get better as we go. But now, here we go. Game number 2. Bloomington definitely need to find a response to this aggression we're having from this Moorhead team.
Absolutely. Starting off here, possession in Trash's hands here. Going for the reset. Fusion Bleach just opting to try to take the beats first. And now Gav getting beat out here. Thought he had time, but I mean, this Moorhead team is just playing aggressive. They're going for the ball. They do not care about trying to take control. They're just going to get beat after beat after beat and kind of win the game that way. And it's proven to work so far. I mean, Bloomington without a goal this entire series so far.
Do we see the first perfect sweep of the season here with Moorhead and Bloomington? But still, as you said, trying to find that first goal for Bloomington. They've been stuck on their back half for pretty much this entire game. Here's a breakaway. We finally see the orange half of the field, but only for a brief moment. Stewie going for the reset, goes low, gets it past one, tries to go for the flick, but likewise able to get the save and cleared away. Only a little bit though. Trash immediately on the response. That's sitting in a dangerous spot for Bloomington, but now finds its way all the way to the orange shooting lane. There was another good opportunity, but again, nobody there to take the shot. Here's one. That one gets saved by Trash. Fusion Bleach putting one, goes wide. Now sitting in the Moorhead corner, playing a lot of slow ball here, but Fusion Bleach going to be the one to pick this one up in midfield. There's a 50. It goes into no man's land to race the ball. Likewise, good touch is going to get it sent all the way downfield. Gavalanche just trying to make a reach. Gets it past out mid. There's a shot. There's the goal. Bloomington end their drought midway through game 2.
Yeah, and it's gonna be one of those things too. They finally got their goal. They finally got what they needed. Is this gonna be like, are the floodgates opening? Like, what's gonna happen here in this next few minutes here, as they finally get their first goal, finally out of the red here into the green a little bit. As likewise, maybe just trying to make a little bit of a play on zero. Let's get beat out though, as Fusion's able to cut that one off quickly, leaving it for Gav, which was a good play here, but Bubbly barely getting that read in time here. And now, yeah, just not much control touch, you know, out of Moorhead so far, but they're still kind of able to take advantage of it. They are getting the passes as well, which is definitely helping. And you know, you mentioned earlier being able to follow up as that second man. I feel like Moorhead has done that so incredibly well so far as compared to Bloomington, which is definitely the name of the game here. Being able to follow up for those touches from teammates, clears from teammates, passes, just anything at all. As Gav maybe trying to get a goal here, and I mean, 2 minutes left, 2 minutes 50 seconds left on the clock, and still not another goal to come through yet.
It has been a bit of a stalemate here, a little bit better of a response from this Bloomington team, but still a lot of time left. Anything can happen. Likewise, just trying to buy time for teammates. Couldn't quite get the reset there. Stewie just gonna send that all the way back to that Bloomington backboard. Fusion Bleach, good challenge. Probably Reaper has to play this one safe. Do not want to get beat and lose a lead. A solid touch there from Gavalanche. That one goes out mid, but a little bit too much heat on it is going to get sent to the wall. Likewise, trying to get the lead for Bloomington, but couldn't quite find it. Because now we see Gavalanche trying to get his own shot on target. Couldn't quite find it. Likewise, solid 50 in the midfield, but Stewie's going to pick this one up. Just has to put it on target. Almost misses. Almost misses, but he's able to sink in the back of the net. Moorhead has the lead again.
Honestly, him shooting it the way he did there was pretty decent. I think if Fusion had gotten a pad more, he could have gotten back for most shots on that goal. So kind of putting it in such an awkward spot for the save was very smart of Stewie there. Way to bring them back up. One goal in this game, but still 2 minutes left on the clock. Plenty of time for anything to be happening for this Bloomington team, as they're kind of on the back foot again. Likewise, just barely getting a piece of that. Able to get that save out. Also getting a decent clear, but I mean, Bubbly immediately with a pass in the middle. That was a beautiful pass. I cannot lie from Bubbly there. Looking for those passes as always, but haven't seen as many demos coming out from Moorhead as we did that first game, and I'm wondering if that's kind of helping this Bloomington team get back into the groove and back into the rotation, kind of giving them a little bit more confidence in what they're doing, as they're not getting just chased and demoed all over and over again.
The fake reset there almost finding its way in. Gavalanche pass out to Likewise, not gonna go on target. Trash gonna pick this one up out the backboard. That's an open net, and overextended third man gets punished. 1:07 left in game 2, and Moorhead get the insurance.
Very much an overcommit on that third man. Fusion Bleach kind of putting himself too far up on the field, especially on zero boost, is not something you want to do as that third man, not able to get supersonic and get back quick enough, and this could be potentially another goal if you're Bubbly, trying to just get a dunk. Does not get it, but they are up 2 goals. They don't need much right now, as Bloomington still kind of just fighting for their life here, and kind of proving us wrong on our predictions already, as Fusion Bleach trying to put one down for Likewise, maybe a double tap Stewie, just staying stoic on that backboard there. Able to get that save and a potential clear pass mid to Trash. Able to get blocked immediately, Likewise putting one up. Fusion Bleach getting a miss, but ends up working as a fake there as a shot went on target, but was not good enough. This defense from Moorhead has been very solid as another shot just almost through. We have 25 seconds on the clock. Bloomington needs something right now.
Maybe their opportunity to Avalanche with the flick. Stewie just barely able to get a hand on that, sends it flying up off the ceiling. Fusion Bleach immediately on the counter. Avalanche sitting in that corner to pass out mid. Likewise not able to find it. Another overextended third man gets punished again. Bubbly Reaper from coast to coast is going to put Moorhead up 4-1. That's going to be the dagger that sends game 2 in favor of them.
I mean, this is just like insane. Likewise is putting in really, really good work on defense with 4 saves. He even has their only goal, but it's just not enough. You know, despite having a decent bit of shots as well, they're just getting beat in so many scenarios where their third man is too far up. And I feel like they're also kind of being too obvious with how they're trying to play the ball. That, you know, as we saw with that last goal coming through, Gavalanche just kind of making it obvious that he was going for a pass there. And that pass lane was just immediately cut off so quickly. And, you know, I feel like we need to start, I don't know, I don't even know if solo plays would help this. I feel like they just need to play faster. They just need to play more solid.
It's so hard to, it's hard to argue a case here, because it feels like Bloomington is kind of just, they're present, but they're not here. You know, it feels like a lot of aggression that you would expect them to have is kind of just a little, maybe a shot here, pass play there, but there's 3 defenders in the net. They've really got to turn around the aggression here. I think, genuinely, trying to at least get some demos here would at least open up that that shooting lane a little bit and get them some goals. But I mean, at this point, no lives left. You have to win the next 3, otherwise this series is over.
Yeah, and they're kind of put in that position where, you know, you are down to, like you said, and you don't have any lives left. You do have to change something. You can't just keep doing the same thing that is proving to not work. Kind of talk it over, be like, okay, like, you brought up demos. That's a great point. I think demos are incredibly strong. I think demos could, both on defense and offense, clear up some space, which could be the decider on some of these goals. And you know, we'll see what they do regardless. Whether they change that, whether they change just how they're playing the ball and rotating and playing that third man. As you know, 20 seconds into this match here, a pass does come out and a little double commit. Gavalanche kind of diving at that despite being that third man. Does get away with it though, as this Moorhead team is just kind of stuck on defense right off the bat. Good beat out there, but Fusion Bleach immediately cutting that one off. Gavalanche on the backboard does dodge that flying demo there, but a demo comes out from Trash, and we're talking about demos. We do not want to see demos on on this other team here, this Bloomington team. We want demos for Bloomington.
They definitely needed to get a little bit of a surge of life. They have not had a lead all series long. The closest they got was the tie midway through game 2, being at 1-1, but that quickly fizzled away. And I mean, at this point, Moorhead just got to keep doing what they're doing. Bloomington's got to change something if they want to get it like that. That's an opportunity. There's another one. Either player able to sink it into the back of the Moorhead net. That was a golden opportunity for them to get the lead, and they just could not capitalize. Here's another one. That one's on target. That one will find the back of the net. Likewise, off the bump from Gavalanche, will take Bloomington's first lead here in game 3.
I was gonna say, finally we're seeing some bumps come out, and I think Gavalanche hurt us. He got a bump on one and then just absolutely dove for the bump on their last man. Does connect with that to get them a lead, and I mean, look at us, man. We're both talking about them needing bumps and demos, and they get the bumps and demos and it's working, but a bump comes out from the opposing team though. Gavalanche trying to just fight his way back to get the save on the cut. He does get that, but oh no, a little miscommunication here. Likewise, probably had a better clear here, and that one's going to result in a goal. Just a miscommunication on that back line there. And immediately their goal is just gone.
I feel like that's been a repeating thing. Bloomington, well, not too frequent. Every time they've had a double commit happen somewhere on the field, it's gotten scored on by this Moorhead team. I feel like somebody's got to slow down. Somebody's panicking big here, and it's causing you to get scored on. But why should I talk when Bloomington immediately off the kickoff are able to get a very nice shot from Fusion Bleach there to send it back to net? They have the lead once again.
Kind of an interesting way to roll around to get that shot back to the left, despite kind of moving his car towards the right. Kind of an awkward shot. Does put that one on target nicely enough here, but a passing play into an own goal into the top right corner. I'm not even 100% sure whether that was in or not off that first touch that Fusion Bleach had. It probably was on target regardless, but I mean, that is just unfortunate. Both times they've, in fact, all 3 times that this Bloomington team has scored, within about 20 seconds, they're immediately scored back on, which is just not something you want to see.
Especially when you're down 2-0 in the series, just under 3 minutes to go here. Moorhead trying to get their first lead of Game 3, but not going to find a good bump there to get Bubbly Reaper off of the ball, but nobody for Bloomington has boost, so that play's gonna die right at midfield. Bubbly Reaper gets a solid touch out mid. Gavalanche, last man back, but nobody there to challenge. Has plenty of space, goes for the awkward reset. That's gonna put him in a bit of an awkward spot, a bit of a trade here. Gavalanche and Bubbly Reaper getting each other, as now we see Bloomington pushing down to the orange side of the field. Gavalanche has the pickup, has the boost, goes for the straight shot on target. Bubbly Reaper with a phenomenal save to keep that one away, but not out of the woods yet here for Moorhead. At last commit is able to get it cleared away. Now solid physicality. No, it was so good. No. He does the demo and got the save, but it just barely goes back in. That I don't know about you, that would be a tilter for me. That would actually just get under my skin.
Yeah, just Bubbly Reaper just backflipping after completely whipping the bump. And, you know, sure enough, that puts him in a good enough position for a shot, which I just don't understand how that happens. But you almost have to look back into how they got into that situation. I believe it was just another overcommit on offense, probably going for a bump, I believe, in net. And just leads to a 1v2 situation, which you know, even in threes, you don't want to leave anybody in a 1v2. First man goes for bump just as they did. Second man is just puts the ball in the net, and it's it. And that's exactly what they did. Minute 38 on the clock, and this Bloomington team needs to fight back with another goal here.
Minute 30 to go. Moorhead just trying to lock down the sweep, but Bloomington still have some life left in them. That was a bit of a scare for Moorhead, but they're able to get away with it. Fusion Bleach on the follow, no boost in the tank, gets a solid 50 on Trash, but still not able to get much out of it. Gavalanche with a solid touch, he put it on target, but still saved away by this Moorhead defense. Now it's a turnaround and pressure. Stewie hits it up high. Trash trying to get the follow. That's their third man, but goes into that Bloomington corner. 60 seconds left here for Bloomington. They've got to get a goal sometime soon if they want to stay alive in the series. Fusion Bleach gets a touch out, but immediately met by Trash as he's just playing control pass over to Bubbly Reaper. There's a good 50, but it's going into no man's land. First one there, a solid bump there for Bubbly Reaper. Goodness. Oh, what a save from Fusion Bleach to keep it away, but they're still in a lot of danger here as that one finally getting cleared away. Trash trying to keep a hand on it, but Bloomington getting away with murder there. They've got to make something happen if they want to stay alive.
Yeah, I mean, they're making the saves that are so necessary to stay in this game, but they just cannot make the offense happen yet. 20 seconds on the clock, still down 1 goal. Likewise, with no boost, just trying to pop it up for one. Stewie immediately cutting that one off, maybe going for a flip reset. Fakes down below, one and past the last 2 goals with 13 seconds left. Is going to be so hard to come back for. And, I mean, you could just tell the mental at this point is absolutely cooked.
Unfortunately, I mean, it's not impossible. The comeback potential is still there. It's just a very, very low chance, especially with a kickoff like that. Final 10 seconds here. Bloomington trying to at least get a consolation going into week 3, but it looks like it's not going to happen. Well, actually, hang on. Likewise, has one up off the backboard, but that's going to fall onto Bubbly Reaper's hood. Fusion Bleach putting one on target. Stewie getting a save. Stat padding a little bit there. That's still alive somehow. Let the ball die. Fusion Bleach saying that's a no man's land. And you know what? Predictions? Who needs them? Moorhead completing the sweep against Bloomington.
I mean, like, I'm just appalled at, like, if you look back at any of the VODs from last season, I'm pretty sure I had maybe only one series that I casted where my predictions were wrong. And I'm starting off really bad this season with predictions, let me tell you. I expected a 3-1 in favor of the other team, and they got 3-0 swept. Like, I'm just not even close. I'm just completely wrong.
I mean, I feel like that's got to just be either chalked up to a bad week or maybe something needs to change for Bloomington. But getting outscored 12-3 in a series it's definitely not a good sign of what's to come. So maybe just come back next week. It could be something completely different. This was just an off week. Somebody wasn't playing right. Somebody's not feeling good. But I mean, all in all, that's going to be it. Moorhead going to be able to just win here in dominating fashion. But looking at the schedule, we have more games coming up later today. Brainerd Rochester going to be the next series coming up. You don't want to miss it.
Absolutely, and I wish I could be around to see that. I do have work coming up, so you know, we'll see what happens there. I know you got some really good casters lined up today with you, so good luck to all the teams coming up here. Good luck to all the teams not on the cast today, and you know, I gotta get out of here, so appreciate you guys. You can kind of do your own thing here far, you know, as you get us wrapped up for next game.
All right, phenomenal series for Moorhead. Bloomington going to come back next week stronger than ever, but we're going to go ahead and send it over to a short break while we prep for our next series.
Watch all of the bullets fall to the ground. You took a shot and I'm yours now. But I'm starting to break. I'm starting to break down, break down, break down, break down. Could be the one now.
Welcome back, folks, to some more Premier League action. Spalty unfortunately had to leave us, so joining him is the amazing Power. How are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing incredibly well. I'm here to watch my Premier team win. No bias whatsoever, but we're going to be cheering them on very subtly in this casting session. But of course, Brainerd on the other side, Whitlock has assembled a squad. We'll see if he can make as good of a run as he did last season and the season prior. Whitlock has been so good since he made that step up into Premier. So we'll see if he can continue that here. And of course, we have the rosters up, not accurate just yet, which is why I'll go over them off the top of my head. On Rochester, of course, we have Hahabu, Swish, and Fluffy. And forgetting who Whitlock has assembled on his team. But what happened last series? Do you want to give a quick rundown on what people miss if they're just tuning in?
All right, so it was the 1-0 Bloomington Maulers against the 0-1 Moorhead Musketeers. Moorhead was actually by game differential because, I mean, there was 5 1-0 and 5 0-1 teams, but by game differential, Moorhead was dead last in Premier, and they showed up, outscoring Bloomington. I believe it was 12-3, completing a sweep on that Bloomington Maulers roster. So definitely a very big upset that I at least I was not expecting to happen at all. I believe both me and Spalty had predicted Bloomington in 4. But I mean, I like being proven wrong. I like when the underdog wins. That's always a good story to tell. So definitely a very good series. But I don't think we're going to be going down in speed at all going into this Brainerd Rochester series. Yeah.
Bryant and Nate are the ones that are joining Whitlock, of course, on his team. And we'll get right into some predictions on this. Personally, I'm of course going Rochester in 3. I always have to be biased when I have the opportunity to. I mean, who can deny it, right? Like Rochester all the way, for sure. But
I mean, I never would have seen it coming. I never would have guessed that you had predicted Rochester. I'll go ahead and back Whitlock and the boys. I'll go ahead and go with Brainerd. I think they're going to be. Oh no, Power, you're Brainerd too now.
I was thinking about it.
Either way, it's going to be a good series. I do think that. I think it's going 5, regardless of who's able to take it. But I think it is going to be 5. So it will definitely be quite the series to watch. But yeah, I mean, I just wanted to look at it. This Brainerd team, they did lose to that Bloomington team that just played, but they did not have Bryant with them playing against that. So there is definitely a bit of a hindrance there, but he is here for this one. So I think this is going to be a full force Brainerd team going into this. But we are ready to go. Everybody's on the pitch, moving in to game number 1.
We'll see who comes out the gate swinging. I feel like, best of 5s, yeah, it's a lot of time. You have a lot of opportunity to show that you're the better team, but at the same time, it can go by so quickly when you only have 1 series on the day for Premier. They need to make the most of this. Whitlock has a redirect early. Fluffy saves on that one. Hahabu now has control. Low boost back from Bryant, but successfully clears that one off to the side. Now Fluffy toward the ceiling, trying to follow this again himself. Showing a lot of mechs early on from Rochester, but nothing to show for it.
30 seconds gone here. Brainerd under a lot of pressure so far. I think we had 2 Rochester players getting harassed in the shooting lane. A really solid shot there from Brainerd, but it gets saved away as we still are trying to find our way out of this Rochester corner. Able to get there, gets it past 1, but Whitlock with the send to the corner. Nate electing to leave it. Slow play here from Whitlock, but Hahabu still able to get a hand on it, as now we see it pushing back down to midfield. Rochester trying to collect a play out of this, but a little bit too awkward on it, isn't able to make much happen. Swish gets a solid touch, but Bryant able to make the save, goes for the follow-up on the reset. That one goes off wall out to no man's land. It's just a race to the ball at this point. Demo from Fluffy onto Bryant, try and alleviate some of the pressure that was mounting for Brainerd. Hahabu Good control, gets a pass out mid, Swish, not able to make it Fluffy. Trying to get something on it, but it looks like there was a bit of a team bump there. And a minute and a half gone so far, and nobody's really had any good looks at him.
Yeah, and this is the number 2 overall versus the number 3 overall Premier pick. Bryant getting picked one higher than Hahabu, but both of them top Premier talent, and you've seen it so far. Kind of the captain at the helm of the ship for both teams here, as Hahabu has been mechanically so good past seasons and so far this season. And Brian, just that solid rock that you really want, you know, on that defensive end, just successfully basically taking anything that is supposed to be a threat and making it not nearly as threatening. Fluffy now into the corner, trying to play this one mid to a teammate who is there first. Follow not there quick enough before Bryant can get it. Shot not quite on target. Nate turning it away to the side, but Swish now with space as the dribble up. One up, Creed. Nate misses, but Whitlock is back and able to collect that one. Now Hahabu with the challenge, has control, tries to dribble it around Bryant, but once again, Bryant just so solid on the defense.
We're already halfway through this game. This is a very different series than our previous one, as no one has scored so far here in game 1. Hahabu trying to make it Rochester's game, but Bryant still able to get that one cleared away. Big 50, that goes out to Fluffy, puts it on target, but Nate able to reach and get the save. Another follow, Swish putting an errant shot on target, but gets cleared away. Fluffy on the follow, just trying to buy teammates time to get back. Swish, an awkward touch, is going to give that ball straight back to Brainerd, as now Bryant. It's a solid follow up off the ball, but now it's a send down the field. Whitlock, last man back, gets a hand on it, but it's still a little bit awkward here for Brainerd. They're able to get more power behind it, as now we see Rochester trying to find a shot on target. Not gonna happen. Fluffy going high, goes off the backboard, has the shot just a little bit too high. Swish trying to get the follow. That one gets cleared away, and we remain at 0-0.
Yeah, but Rochester have certainly had the pressure here. Brainerd have been pushed back on the back foot for the majority of this game. Seeing if Brainerd can maybe, you know, get a transition out. That's been their go-to offense so far. I don't know if it's by choice, but all their offensive looks have been on these counterattacks. Here we see it again. Rochester just trying to swarm with pressure and, you know, find one of the kinks in the armor. Chinks in the armor. And take advantage of it.
I mean, okay. But I mean, it feels like as we have gone on in this game, it feels like Rochester have had more and more time on that orange half. So I feel like at some point it's just going to be at one point or another the shield is going to crack and they're going to score. But maybe Brainerd going to be the first ones to strike. Not able to get that one on target. Nate gets a solid touch out, looking for a demo on the follow, but not able to find it now. Puts Brainerd in an awkward spot. Hahabu has 0 boost in the tank. That one's going to get sent back safely. A Swish gets a control touch, gets it past one. Whitlock gets a hand on it, but that puts it in a little bit of a precarious situation for Brainerd. A solid touch. What a play from Swish and Hahabu. 8 seconds left, and Rochester have the lead.
Offense finally finding them a goal. What a beautiful play. Pass up, redirect down from Swish into the back of the net. Absolutely incredible play from Rochester there to get the lead, but they need to keep it here. 8 seconds is not safe yet, especially not with a solo play here from Nate. Drops it below 1, has a flip, trying to pinch this one across. Double commit across. This one a little bit dangerous, but Bryant bumped out, and that one safely finds its way to the ground. Rochester take game 1.
Whew. I mean, if that's a sign of what's to come, I'm so excited to see how this series unfolds. That was the one shot that finds its way in is just, and it's an a lot angle. I haven't seen something like that since he was playing in RLCS many years ago. But now the ball very much in Brainerd's court. How do you respond to this very tight Rochester team?
Yeah, I felt like they were really locking down the midfield a lot of times. They had to give, you know, a little bit of pressure every once in a while, reboost, regroup. But it felt like vast majority of the play was Rochester shooting on Brainerd, or Brainerd sort of just having to brush back and be on the back foot. We'll see if Brainerd can get a little bit more offense here. They only had 3 shots felt like they had decent quality on the shot opportunities, but I think that a lot of that just has to do with, Rochester rushing back from counterattacks, only having like 1 or 2 back. So I'm hoping for Brainerd's sake that they can get a little bit more offense rolling, get some goals rolling. I have a feeling that game 1 was a little bit more of a feeling out, and here we're going to see a lot more firepower.
We have seen both teams excel before, but now it's all up to Brainerd at this point. You've got to find a response to this Rochester team. That game 1 was really close. The 1 goal coming out was very late in the game, but now a very early on goal, 11 seconds in, and Nate starts off the scoring for Brainerd.
Just a touch wayward into the corner from HaHaBoo, and then Swish and Haha not in a great position on backboard there to get the cross the bottom of the net shot from Nate. Just such an awkward ball for both of them. Really, HaHaBoo's touching the corner, needed a follow-up. This 50 into the corner now. Swish trying to get a touch. Does play it around 1. Nate up early, though, before HaHaBoo can get it. Now Fluffy into the center. Nate up early. Gets the 50-50. Whitlock trying to beat out Haha. Gets the ceiling double toward the wall. Bryant on the follow-up. Trying to fake 1. Has control. A little bit of an awkward ball. This one should be tapped in by Nate, and successfully does so. But Bryant, the one on the charge here, getting the air dribble, getting the bump, really awkward touch from HaHaBoo, Fluffy double commit, and Nate there for the kick.
I mean, if you're a Brainerd fan, that's exactly how you want to start out game 2 here. Already up 2-0, not even a minute in. This is very much a different team than we saw in that game 1, but now we see them trying to march downfield again and get another one. Rochester on the return gets a pass over to HaHaBoo from Swish, but not able to get it into the net. Fluffy just having to play this one slow. Do not want to overcommit here as third man, but now we see Nate picking this one up in the corner. Not a lot of boost to work with. Able to flick it past 1. HaHaBoo not able to get a hand on it. This is looking very dangerous for Rochester. They're able to keep it just barely out of the shooting lane and get it cleared away. Nate not able to find one there. That one bounced off the backboard, but nobody there for Brainerd, as that one's going to go all the way back up to their end. Solid 50 in the corner as Fluffy just trying to maintain possession for Rochester with no boost. Whitlock picks this one up, sends it out midfield. Nate's going to be the one to send this one upfield. Whitlock trying to put this one on target, but not enough power, as now it gets sent away by Rochester once again.
Whitlock there just a little bit earlier. Now Brian off to the sidewall, going for another kind of tight angle. HaHaBoo into the corner, does control it around Nate. Going for the follow-up, has lots of space here, has a teammate in the wing. Swish popping it over Nate. Brainerd kind of low on boost here. Finally getting some, and Bryant on the transition. Nate now up toward the wall. Just has an air dribble toward the corner, trying to pinch this mid for a teammate. Fluffy is there first. Swish with the demo, Whitlock with the demo, starting to get physical, something we didn't really see a lot of in game 1. Shot opportunity, not quite good. Rochester kind of getting away with this one. Now Fluffy up, has control, goes for the flip, does play it up high, but Bryant with another save. So defensive and just precise with Bryant.
Was one of the highest, still is one of the highest South players in all, and not in just MCS, but like he's one of the highest South players in all of MCS. So I mean, he's definitely showing his colors here. But now we see Rochester under pressure once again. Fluffy picks this one up off the backboard. Not a lot of boost. Goes for the musty, trying to get to HaHaBoo. Gets a solid touch. Nate kind of helping out with that, but not on target. As now we see Rochester trying to get their first of the game. A good shot there from HaHaBoo, but gets sent away by Nate. As now we see Whitlock just playing slow, playing control, gets a solid 50, gets it past 2. HaHaBoo not able to find it. It's an open net for Brainerd, and they take advantage. Whitlock sending in the third for Brainerd.
Yeah, HaHaBoo just a little antsy here as third, trying to get the read. I assume he thinks that's hitting ceiling based off the jump. And Whitlock there, easy tap in, easy follow-up. But I feel like Rochester wasn't really out of position. It was literally just a half-second misread from HaHaBoo. But that, will really make the difference here. And Nate with another open net off this kickoff play. Nate getting these tap-in goals. I mean, you could say, like that didn't take a lot of skill to put it in, but it's about the positioning on the follow-up, being that second man where you're able to get those open nets and those tap-ins. So credit to Nate there. But this lead looking to be basically insurmountable at this point. I don't want to like insanely caster curse, but it's one of those things where you're up 4. The players at this level, they don't make too many mistakes that quickly. Like realistically, this is going to be a go next. You know, see what adjustments they can make. Maybe get some offense rolling, get some goals for the sake of momentum, but the game's basically in Brainerd's hands from here on out.
At this point, it's kind of just building some momentum here for game 3. Just chalking this one up. Okay, not our best game. They definitely came out swinging a lot harder than they did in the first one. So now that we're aware of that, we can strategize accordingly. But going into the final minute here, Rochester just trying to find something to get that momentum started. There's an errant shot there from Hahabu, but Nate picking up a Savior medal for their efforts. And now it's kind of just bouncing around in that victory corner, but finally breakaway. Here's an opportunity, but Whitlock able to get a hand on and save. Nate gets a solid touch. It's a race back for Swish, and he gets a hand on it, almost own goaling that, but able to keep it out of his net as now. You see it push downfield. Hahabu trying to get the first. It just bounces off the corner and in. Rochester are on the board. 35 seconds left.
Yeah, the pass across to the sidewall from Fluffy, just good enough. And even if this didn't, you know, god bounce into off the corner, Hahabu was there for the tap in. So Rochester get 1 on the transition back, but they needed to either, you know, concede less or start scoring a little bit earlier than this if they wanted a chance in this game. I feel like the primary difference between game 1 and this game was Brainerd were able to capitalize on the mistakes of Rochester a little bit more, and Rochester were making those mistakes to tap in more. You know, you're slightly out of position, you're slightly, you know, get a misread on a ball, or you tap it away, give possession, and Brainerd actually able to capitalize on those instead of just staying in the midfield.
And I mean, oh wow, there was you know what? He's getting the momentum sped up for next game. Another really good goal right off the ceiling. Just get that little baby touch right there over the defenders. Bryant not able to get a hand on that in time. And now Rochester closing the gap. I don't think it's going to be enough to try and get back into this game unless they can get an amazing kickoff goal here, and it will not happen. And that one going in favor of the victory. That one would have gone in if it was just a little bit higher, but Brainerd, a very phenomenal response here in game 2.
Yeah, it felt like, you know, that maybe Brainerd letting off the gas a little bit in garbage time, knowing that they had a 4-goal lead with a minute left, or maybe Rochester stepping up a little bit, maybe a combination of both. But Rochester making that one look closer than it really was. However, Brainerd just really ran away with it. They got those early goals, they kept the pressure, they kept the offense, and nothing Rochester did really seemed that threatening until those last 2 goals where, you know, you have a good pass upfield in their transition, or you have a good ceiling double from Hahabu. Making things happen on the offense is Hahabu. I feel like it was more of a team effort from Brainerd, and I think that was the difference maker.
I mean, going 3 for 4 on assist is definitely a good sign of that. Having a lot more team play, getting a little bit more involved. I believe, yeah, Rochester still outshot them, but it was 1 save for Rochester to 6 for Brainerd is definitely another thing showing why they were able to take this game 2 away. But now it begs the question, how is Rochester going to respond to this Brainerd team that is now definitely in full force?
Yeah, I guarantee you we're going to see more Hahabu solo plays. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
But the question is, you know, who's there for the follow-up, right? Can Fluffy and Swish capitalize on some of the space that's made, or can they possibly clear the way with a demo or 2 to give Hahabu the space to just put it in himself? Whitlock here on the flip reset tries to play it low over Fluffy. Now Fluffy off to the sidewall, missing the double. Bryant taking time, opting for an air duel 50. Whitlock accidentally hitting Bryant off. Now transition quickly for Rochester. Swish taking his time here in the corner, playing it around 1. Whitlock off to the wall. Nate awkward read. Fluffy also awkward read. But Hahabu there, just playing it toward net. Bryant with an easy tap around, gets the demo, has some boost here, has the opportunity for a shot, and the pass down to Whitlock. Not intentional at all, I don't think. I don't think Bryant even saw him. But the failed musty down to Whitlock ended up working incredibly well.
I mean, I think that's just really good awareness from Whitlock to be able to get a touch perfectly on net like that was just a great shot all around. And now the victory sitting up 1-0, just over 40 seconds gone here in game 3, but now they find themselves under a lot of pressure. HaHaBu immediately on the return with the pass from Swish is going to make us a tie game.
Yeah, great angle there. Nate with a really awkward backward read has to, get something on it, and then HaHaBu shooting that close to that, even though it was a tight angle. One of those things where Bryant can only do so much in that there. It's kind of screwed after the bait backward touch doesn't come through off to the side, off to the corner, where it's safe. And this is not safe at all. Managing to somehow get away with that one are Rochester. And now a misflip from Bryant meets HaHaBu. 50 on the last man. Lets Rochester go up 1 here when they should not be getting any offensive pressure here at all.
It was just a muscle play from HaHaBu, able to not only get a 50 and win it, but also kind of just, I don't want to say pinch, but it wasn't really a double tap either. It was just perfect angling there from HaHaBu to get that second goal for Rochester. Maybe trying to make it a third. Bit of an awkward touch there. Goes all the way back to that Brainerd corner. HaHaBu just playing possession. Grabs that corner boost. It's going to slow down this Brainerd offense a little bit. But Whitlock demoed for his efforts. Got one little touch on it, and HaHaBu wanted to have absolutely none of that. Nate picking this one up again. No boost in the tank for him, as Swish is just going to take this free ball, go for a reset. Not quite able to find something, but kind of just lands on Bryant, making him awkward as well. As now we see Rochester bringing out that physicality that we were talking about last game. Here comes another opportunity. Swish using what little fumes he had, trying to get a shot on target, gets cleared away. HaHaBu gets one there. That's in a bit of an awkward spot here for both teams. Swish going to be the first one to pick this one up. Goes for the fake reset. Nate not able to find it, but Bryant was able to get a hand on it. HaHaBu super awkward. That's a shot opportunity for Bryant, but he goes high. That was such a golden opportunity for them. There it is. There's the follow-up we were looking for. Brainerd thinking their lucky stars. They got a second look at it.
Yeah, just so on the back foot are Rochester from the transition here, and Fluffy in that has to react to who knows who's taking that shot, right? Bryant could not hit that, and then Nate could go and slap it in, or vice versa. So kind of just a really awkward ball after HaHaBu gets that misread off the corner. Such a hard read to do over the head, so you can't really vault in too much, but it's more like, all right, why are we in that position in the first place? And that is a question that Rochester have to answer, because Brainerd are starting to get their offense rolling.
I mean, we've seen what this Brainerd offense can do. You definitely don't want to start giving them that opportunity, but now Rochester trying to get their lead back in this game. HaHaBu gets a solid touch, gets the follow, keeping possession for himself, but now the send downfield Whitlock with a solid catch on the backboard, has all of the room in the world to work with, just going to play control here. Trying to go for a pinch on the wall, but ends up kind of just killing it straight where it landed. But now we see Rochester trying to get some offensive pressure going. It's a little bit awkward for everybody. Fluffy not able to get the most ideal touch, but now Swish picking this one up, goes from the ceiling, gets the shot on target. Good save there from Whitlock to keep it away. And now Brainerd pushing back down to the other side, trying to get past that midfield line. Race to the ball there. Swish going to be there first. HaHaBu 1v1 with Bryant. Bryant playing it safe, is able to get the clear. And now you see Brainerd just trying to get some offensive pressure. It feels like ever since the kickoff, Rochester has had a handle on this ball. Left, right, and center. Here's a shot from HaHaBu. A follow-up from Swish, but phenomenal defense from the victory. Keeps the game tied.
Stoic on the back line have been Brainerd. I mean, Bryant just absolutely icy avoiding that air dribble bump. And now 4 shots saved from Rochester that surely looked like, it's a really good offensive opportunity, and just goes wayward. But now Bryant from the infield pass by Whitlock, able to tap that one in. HaHaBu, awkward touch, just barely getting away from himself, and then Whitlock centering that one for Bryant. Nobody back for Rochester. And that will be a 1-goal lead, 1 minute and 12 on the clock. Rochester still having a chance here to get this back to equal. They're going to need one of those offensive chances to find their way in, and this is not how you want to do that. Pressure now, except other way on the transition. Saved barely, shot though, good for the follow-up from HaHaBu.
It was just unbreakable pressure. Whitlock barely any boost to work with, just tries to get something to keep it away, but just a looming Rochester pressure gets that one scored. Tie game here, 3-3, 58 seconds left. It's anybody's game at this point. Swish gonna try and make it Rochester's, gets a good 50. That's in front of the Brainerd net, but nobody there to make the final strike. As now Whitlock pushing downfield, not a lot to work with, maybe just trying to play a pass, gets a solid 50. Brainerd got to get something going here. All three players are up. Now it's an opportunity for Rochester, but Bryant able to cut that play away as now counterattack for the victory. Bryant gets a solid touch. Whitlock trying to get a read, is able to get a hand on it, but Swish on the follow is going to get that sent all the way downfield. Haha Boo, no boost. Pass over to Swish. Swish putting that one just a little bit high. Fluffy playing safe. Do not want to give Brainerd a free goal this late into the game. Whitlock going for a reset. Bryant getting a demo on two players and getting demoed himself, but nothing really comes of it. Final 10 seconds here. Swish, big send downfield. Fluffy trying to get a read. Bryant, a big miss. That could be the lethal one, but Whitlock able to get it cleared away. Absolute pandemonium on the goal line goes unredeemed, and we have overtime in game 3.
Yeah, lots of chaos there. Chance definitely for Rochester at the end to take this one. But now you have game 3 equalized. Fluffy gets a tap around Piper. Third time. I thought for sure that was Gabe, but we go on. Equalized both in series and in game now. Who's going to get the go-ahead goal and game? Super important in a best of 5 to get this lead. You don't want to be on double match point. Looking down, you know, having to get 2 wins in a row in order to take the series. Here, Whitlock up toward backboard. Swish there for the control. Trying to play this one out. Bryant, really awkward touch. Nate left in a bad spot. Now Swish trying to play this one mid to a teammate. Nate still there in time. Haha Boo with some space. Takes control. Tries to flick it around, but Whitlock is there.
And now, I mean, it feels like this game should not be as close as it is. Rochester currently have 11 shots. Brainerd have 5. Make it 12 and make it a win. Swish sending it into the back of the net in overtime, just over a minute through. And now Rochester sitting on match point.
Definitely not the touch Nate wanted there, right? He has to pre-flip. He has to get back slightly out of position as Whitlock was pushing into the midfield. And that'll be the difference maker. You know, it's a really small difference. Nate could have just as easily been, you know, half a wheel in front of that one and played that one to the corner safely. But Swishy shot just barely powerful enough to roll in past the car. And sure enough, that means Rochester get that extra game advantage. But Brainerd, you know, they've been fighting. They have definitely been fighting. So they're going to be looking to take this one to 5.
I mean, I was talking about it a little bit there, but Rochester decided to cut the game a little bit early. But Rochester had definitely been dominating when it came to shots, but Brainerd just had a little bit more when it came to that defensive play. So, I mean, I feel like that's kind of what this series has been chalking down to, is it going to be stellar offense or brick wall defense that's going to win this series? Rochester currently in the lead as we go into game number 4.
And an early kickoff goal for Brainerd. We saw them get a kickoff goal earlier in the game number 2. And they get another one here. Just a good cheat out from Nate. Haha Boo pushing a little bit too far up. Has to either immediately dive that ball or go back and play the shadow on the shot. Brainerd will easily, you know, walk away happy with an early lead in this one. However, they did get an early lead in the last game, but that game did not go to them. So the early lead, not necessarily an indicator of who's going to come out on top for this one. Haha Boo trying to just dribble this one across. Whitlock now tap up, Swish into the midfield. Who's there first? It is Bryant, but no angle found. Haha Boo trying to take this one away. Gets the pre-jump touch and Swish with the pre-jump save. Haha Boo now off the backboard, controlling this toward the corner best he can. Nate 50 back into the midfield. Low boost from Rochester. Kind of panic and diving here, but they've managed to defend so far. Now Bryant trying to tap this one down to a teammate. Shot not quite good enough. Fluffy there in time. More pressure though from Brainerd. How do Rochester handle it?
I mean, we've seen them on this blue half almost this entire game, finally getting a breakaway. Actually, here's a good opportunity. The demo from Swish and the follow-up from Boo is able to get this game tied right back up. Bryant just a little bit too heavy-handed of a touch, and Nate not able to reach and make the save. 4-0-2, and we already have a goal apiece, but looking, I mean, okay, Rochester currently is 1 for 1. Brainerd is 1 for 5 already. Nate alone having 3 shots within the first minute is actually ridiculous.
Kind of a reversal of what we saw earlier in the series, where Rochester were pounding the net, but not necessarily getting the goals to go in or the quality of chances that they might like. But they're, you know, the transition game so good for both teams, honestly. Now switch into the corner. Whitlock trying to tap this one toward a midfield teammate. Boo trying to wall dash to follow this one. Kind of awkward. Just leaves it for Fluffy. Knows he has a teammate able to come in. Now switch with an early challenge. Nate left back. Has to get an awkward touch up. Has the boost to follow it. One more over Boo. Fluffy now cut. Trying to shoot Whitlock up toward the backboard. Really awkward ball for the defense here. Boo now trying to just keep possession. Not quite getting the read he wanted. Whitlock now into the corner. Trying to play this one mid for a teammate. Does get bumped off. Swish now on the transition. Whitlock back in time.
Now we see Rochester trying to take a lead here. That's going to get sent all the way downfield. Fluffy trying to get the clang off of that back ball there, but still getting cleared out regardless. Whitlock with the control, has plenty of boost to work with, goes for the reset, able to get it over Boo. Nate getting a follow-up. That's going to 50 into that Rochester corner. Swish able to get it past one. Bryant on the demo. Whitlock is able to get it past one. Fluffy has to reach for this, able to get a hand on it, but it's still very dangerous for Rochester. That one finally getting cleared away as Nate, first one up, able to get the block away. Last man back for Rochester. It's Fluffy against the world. The musty from Bryant, but not able to get into the net. A pass outfield from Whitlock over to Nate gets sent into the Rochester corner. Nate getting a follow-up touch. That one's going to find its way on target. Swish able to get the save. Whitlock picking this one up. Not a lot of boost to work with. Just trying to get a hand on it. Is able to get one, but still sitting in that Rochester corner. Nate playing slow and controlled, but Boo, a phenomenal read. Able to get that one cleared away. Bryant gets one at midfield. Not out of the woods yet is Brainerd, but now sitting a little bit more awkward for both teams. I feel like at some point it's just going to be one major mistake that's going to give someone the lead here.
This is a great chance here for Swish, but not quite enough boost to follow it. Now Boo into the center. Fluffy with the shot. Nate with the save off the backboard. Successfully defending that offensive pressure. Now Brainerd with their own chance. Boo tapping it down. No teammate there to follow. Nate on the backboard trying to cause a little bit of disruption to Fluffy. Rochester trying to boost back up again. Boo with the cut. Has a little bit of space here. Does play it around one. Now solo play opportunity. Just one back. What will he do with it? Tries for the fancy and ends up, you know, messing up a little bit. But Brainerd read it the whole way through.
Still stuck on defense. Here's a good look at it for Rochester, but Bryant is able to reach and get the save. Final seconds here dwindling down as we stare down the barrel of another overtime. Rochester trying to call it early, trying to get this game in their favor. A musty from Boo, but saved by Nate as now another 50. That's going to go all the way to the other corner for Brainerd. Bryant able to get it past one. Boo up early, able to get it past two. Nate's last man back. A little bit awkward in the net, able to get a hand on it though. Whitlock, solid touch. Swish, last man back, able to get a little bit collected here and clear that one away. Push back downfield for Rochester. Boo go for the reset. Nate able to get the first touch. Bryant getting bumped out of the way. Here's the opportunity for Rochester. It's on target. Saved away by Bryant, but not out of that shooting lane. Still dangerous here for Brainerd as Swish sends that one out mid. Bryant getting bumped again, but just going to let that one die. Second overtime we've seen in the series.
Yeah, no one there in the midfield after the bump came through. It was, you know, a risky play, pushing everyone up on 0 seconds. The last thing you want is to overcommit on 0 seconds and let someone get a free tap in. Bryant now to the backboard. Whitlock on the follow-up. Low boost, slow for Swish. Boo covering high well. Now Swish into the corner, trying to just buy time for teammates. Successfully does so. Now Fluffy on the attack. Seeing what he can do with this one. Runs out of boost entirely. Not able to get the bump on Nate. Ahabu tapping this one up, trying to follow himself, but Nate still on that one. Now Fluffy and Swish combined to the backboard. Fluffy misses this one. Brian with the clear across. Nate on the follow-up. Ahabu awkward in the corner. Gets a good first touch, though. Just buying time once again. Time kind of been the name of the game here for Rochester, at least on their defensive half.
Now we see Brainerd in a bit of an awkward spot. Oh no, the open net mistake is going to be the end of Brainerd here in the series. Just a very solid shot from Swish, sends it in the back of the net. Bryant not able to reach it in time. Rochester completes the 3-1 win here in week 2.
Yeah. I mean, Rochester looking very, very good on offense for sure. They had a few shaky moments on defense, a few mistakes conceded where Brainerd were able to get the transition or get the, get the tap and goal on some of the kickoffs where things went a little bit wayward. But Rochester overall just looking very, very solid in the midfield and in creating chances off of mechanical plays where they're, setting up a second man or outplaying just everyone, right? If you play the ball past all three, there is no one left.
That was the recipe for success. That is our second series down. One more to go. Bemidji versus Minneapolis is going to be up next. Don't go anywhere. You're not going to want to miss it.
Don't pause. Press play. Don't pause. Press play. Don't pause. Press play. Don't pause. Don't pause. Press play. 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 Don't pause. Press Don't pause. Press play. Don't pause. Press play. Don't pause. Press play. Don't pause. Don't pause. Press play. 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 Don't pause. Press play.
Yo, I'm a lazy motherfucker, that's what everyone sees. Ain't it funny how you wanna be the best, but you can't even get up and get dressed? Wasted, face it, you're never gonna make it. Rockstar, you won't get far. And I know you're confused. People tell you you can be anything you wanna be. Wanna go to outer space, superhero in the streets. Damn, what a lie. What a time to be alive. How have I survived? Left the battlefield, 1974. I think I'm going insane. I'm feeling crazy. Can't get it out of my head. Oh no, if the devil inside takes hold, then I just might wind up dead. Wasted, face it, you're never gonna be the one. Rockstar, you won't get far, but at least you had fun. People tell you you can be anything you wanna be, a king or a queen, as long as you got a dream. Oh no, it's a lie. They just wanna take your life, try to tell you it's a battlefield. People tell you you can be anything you wanna be. Wanna go to outer space, superhero in the streets. Damn, what a lie. What a time to be alive. How have I survived? Life's a battlefield, 1974.
Breaking up all this static running through my blood. Again, why do you waste your light on me? Out of luck, can I keep my head above this time? Again, feeling the ground collapse on me. Blown around in a storm that only brings me down. Again, why does it feel so hard to breathe? Why does it feel so hard to breathe? So hard to breathe. Never found, but these voices bring me to my knees. Again, why do you waste your light on me? Again, feeling the ground collapse on me.
Welcome back, folks, to some more Premier action. We have 2 series gone, 1 to go. Joining me for this final series is the wonderful Blasky Bloomington Chow captain. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing awesome. I just subbed in a little bit. We had one caster feeling a little under the weather. Shout out the GOAT, Golden Knight. So I stepped in, just got home, and excited to cast my first series of the season. Joining you, I know I'm sure you've casted quite a bit so far this season, but I've been out of the booth for a little bit. I'm just excited to get back into it.
Oh yes, and what a series we have to start it off. We will be watching the Bemidji Lumberjacks going against the Minneapolis Miracles. But just a little recap on what's gone on today so far. Bloomington upset by the Moorhead Musketeers, and then after that we had a pretty close series. Brainerd victory going against the Rochester Rhythm. Rochester taking that one in 3 with 2 overtimes in that series. So that one was definitely a little bit more close than that first one. But now, I mean, I'm not too familiar with how this Bemidji and Miracles team is. So it's going to be either way. It's going to be good Rocket League.
Yeah, and even if we were familiar, I think Bemidji coming into this first, at least the first game, with the potential sub, I know that they have a player that was just playing on a LAN and is heading home. And currently we're on pace to have at least game 1 with a sub. But Miracles, I'm not sure where the whole lobby is, but Kato, Hawk, and Busy can be a really, really good team. I'm super excited to see how both these teams play. I mean, obviously on one side you got Mogi, the other side you got Kato Mac. I mean, those are some pretty heavy hitters in the league. I mean, it's bound to be a really good series. Again, it is going to come down to what happens. Does the sub Chip step up, at least for this first game, potentially more? And to talk about the other series, I mean, we saw Moorhead. You say upset Bloomington. I mean, Moorhead is a much lower Sal team, but they have so much chem. And Rochester, I think that's more of the upset. You said Rochester beat Brainerd in 3?
Yep.
Oh my. Brainerd is one of the most disgusting teams on paper to me. We see, we might not have. We don't have Wolf. Okay, that changes things up a little bit. So Bemidji being down their second man. So they're going to have Mogi, Brick Wall, and Chip. I'm interested to know what is your take on how this game's going to go?
Well, I mean, in the past like 20 minutes or so, we've heard there may not be series at all. We're going to play with this sub. No, we're going to play in this roster now. And it's just been all over the place. So, I mean, I feel like somebody's got to be coming in with no warm-up. And especially in Premier, you've got to be a little bit more careful when it comes to that kind of stuff. So either way, I still think that Kato Mac and crew probably. I think they take this one away. But it's still going to be a pretty good series regardless.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I think in this one, with a lot of the chaos that happened pre-game, I think the Minneapolis Miracles are going to take it in. I'm going to say 4. I'm going to say the Minneapolis Miracles are going to take it in 4 because I think they might win 1 or 2, let off the gas a little bit, and Bemidji will sneak 1 in. But I think Minneapolis should win this by 4 at least.
I agree. I think it is going to be pretty close, but I'm also going to be saying that Minneapolis will be taking this one away. I think purely just because of Bemidji's going to be coming in just a little bit. They're going to be kind of awkward coming into this. They aren't exactly as prepared as Minneapolis could be, but I've been wrong both times today. So
maybe I should have changed up.
who knows what's going to happen at this point, but we're just going to go ahead and roll with it, as I believe we have all players on the field ready to go, ready to get some games going. And I mean, now AK's just killing me. Just a little bit of a pause, a little bit of a tech pause. It's all right. It's all good. But yeah, I think a little bit of a pause here as we get into it. But I mean, today has already been just so. It's been so weird. Like every team that you expect to win is just not. They didn't show up in the way you thought they would, or they didn't really perform as well as you would have hoped. But I mean, a fresh clock, fresh scoreboard, fresh series. Let's see how this one goes.
100%. We see some physical gameplay coming out already. Busy with a shot. Little too high. Brick couldn't get there. Hawk cleans it up. We are 16 seconds in, and Minneapolis already coming out as aggressive as possible and getting one on the board early.
16 seconds in. I said it as the series was starting that this Minneapolis team is going to be a lot more cohesive because they've had time to warm up. They've had time to talk strategy. Bemidji coming in a little bit more cold, but maybe that will change as the series goes on. Mac getting a demo on brick wall as now this one finding its way into Minneapolis territory. It's a race to the ball. Hawk able to get there first. Not the best touch in the world, but not exactly punished either. Mac. Plenty of space, has a little bit of boost, goes for the reset, gets it past Chip, but we see the Bemidji defense able to get that one cleared away as now Minneapolis trying to get the insurance goal, not quite able to find it. Mac, last man back, gets a solid touch out, but not able to find that one on target. Actually just a little bit wide. Busy on the follow-up, hits it off the crossbar, but that one gets saved away. And a minute in, and Minneapolis still sitting up 1-0.
Yeah, and it feels like both teams are taking swings here. Again, the physicality on a whole other level now. I don't know what it is, but both these teams going for a lot of demos, and I feel like both teams have had really equal opportunities here. Minneapolis obviously the only one on the board so far. Mogi now with the clear, gets it past two. Can't get the boost to follow it. Does try to pinch it mid, but it bounces over two teammates. Busy now with the clear into the Bemidji side. Does get one touch mid. Kato can't quite shoot it. Mogi with an opportunity, open net. Brick wall just guiding, and Bemidji ties it up. We're almost at the halfway mark now, and both teams looking incredibly solid.
I mean, just getting past that third man. We've seen that all day long where goals have happened because of that third man. It's just pushed a little bit too far up, or somebody gets an awkward demo, or somebody plays just a little bit too aggressive and it causes a goal to happen. But that's the kind of things you expect here in Premier, where those little mistakes are what gets you scored on. Now we see Bemidji trying to get a lead here in game one. Chip, no boost in the tank, demoed for his efforts. Busy just trying to play havoc on that Bemidji backline as Hawk, no boost himself. Big 50 is going to send it out to midfield. Busy going to be the one to turn for this. Mac getting all the way back to that corner. It's going to relieve some of that pressure for Bemidji. Solid touch there, sending it over to corner, but not out of the woods here for Minneapolis. That one finding its way on target. A great shot there from Mogi, but not quite able to get that one in. Brick wall sending that one just a little bit wide, and I mean, Minneapolis thinking of lucky stars, they're able to get away with that one.
Yeah, we see a little bit of awkwardness here from Mogi. Has to get a sidewall touch. Can't get it over there, but Brick wall does get a nice follow-up. Tries to get past Kato, does. Brick wall now, wall dashing to try to get it over here. An opportunity to score, goes for a bump, no one there. Chip pops it up. Mogi can't follow it, Kato can. Does get it into the middle. Busy now. Gets it around one, tries to put it back mid, doesn't quite get the touch. Mogi now, a little bit of boost, takes it up the wall, tries to get a corner touch, can't quite get there. And we're seeing a little bit of awkwardness now. I mean, both teams got an early strike, and now it feels like neither team wants to make the next mistake. As we see Brick wall with an opportunity, a little bit of awkwardness, and Bemidji now taking a lead with a minute 51 left on the clock.
Big mistakes. Izzy could not play control, and Mac just a little bit too fast, not able to slow down and get that solid block. So now you see Bemidji up 2-1 after Minneapolis opened the scoring for the series. Ball very much in their court, both literally and figuratively, as it sits within that shooting lane for Bemidji. No one quite able to capitalize on it just yet. Here's a big commit. All three players up for Bemidji. It's a send downfield. No one back to defend it, and the game is tied 2-2.
Yeah, you couldn't see it super well, but you did see some bumps come out on the middle of the field. Made the third man a little awkward. Busy gets a nice, easy, clear goal. And we are a minute and a half remaining in this first game. And we've seen, some really strong plays. We've seen some really awkward plays. Goals resulting from both of those types of things. Now Mogi, an opportunity to try to go for a clip. Hawk up early. Brick wall now sends it at the back. Gets a bump. Mogi gives an opportunity for Brick wall off of that bump. They were not expecting to have to dive across to save that.
I mean, it's just an awkward touch too, as Hawk not able to get there, and Busy 0 boost. I think that was just poor communication on the side of Minneapolis. Nobody deciding to go, and it ends up biting them. But there's still plenty of time on the clock for them to get back into this game. Mogi gonna be the one to pick this one up. Goes for the 50. That goes into the corner. Brick Wall sitting on target. It has potential, but the bumps from Brick Wall on Katomac are not going to be enough. Mogi puts another one on target. Here's the reach from Hawk, but it's not enough. Mogi putting in the 4th for Bemidji.
Yes, and I mean, Bemidji, seeing that Minneapolis is just looking incredibly awkward, incredibly panicked, taking advantage. I mean, this is a good way to get some momentum going in the series. I mean, being up 2 in a game that you were the complete underdog, missing your second man, especially one as incredible as Wolf. I mean, coming out swinging this hard, they have to feel really good. And they have to continue this on if they want to win this. Because I feel like as we go on, the Miracles are only going to heat up unless they could just keep this momentum going.
And I mean, we see them still stuck on defense. It feels like it's been a very long time since we've seen this blue half of the field. And even when it does happen, it is for a very brief moment. Chip, send outfield. That was a good play there, but good cut by Katomac to get that one sent away. Busy on the follow. Kato trying to get a follow-up off the backboard, but not enough boost in the tank. Hawk going for the pinch. That one's going to get killed on the wall. Brick Wall with control with the boost. Goes for the 50 on Katomac. It's still very dangerous here for Minneapolis. They've got to get it away. That was a very necessary touch they needed, and it was just a complete miss. I think this game is all said and done.
I mean, yeah, it is just tough out here. It feels like Bemidji has been in control the whole time. I mean, they have 9 shots. Minneapolis has 6. It doesn't even feel that way. I feel like Bemidji have been on offense 80% of this series and just taking full control. Kato now, the opportunity to put it mid. Doesn't matter. Chip is there to take it to the side. And with 7 seconds left, like you said, it feels like game 1 is all but wrapped up here. And Bemidji are going to take the first game of the series.
And I mean, okay, that is an electric start for Bemidji. That's exactly how you want to open up the series, especially playing not only cold, but also with a challenger sub. And I mean, like, I think just in history, we've seen subs play up and they will just absolutely dominate. I think Chip, not super dominant, but does not look out of place whatsoever in this series here, having 2 assists, 1 save, not able to put any shots on target, unfortunately, but still a very strong performance from the challenger players. So, I mean, at that point, Minneapolis has to really find a response here.
100%. It's got to be a little disheartening for them to be, falling to what they should feel is like an inferior opponent. But I mean, they came out swinging so hard, you can't really even view it like that at this point. I mean, Chip played his role. I know it says no shots on the board, but he definitely had some that I would have considered a shot. I think he had like a nice, pancake on the backboard and everything. He didn't get credit for that. But he definitely played a lot of offense, at least in game 1 here, that he was not credited for. So props to him for stepping up and helping Bemidji get the first game win of this series. And now we are on Forbidden Temple. Are we going to see Minneapolis swing back? Or it's Bemidji just going to take that momentum and run away with it? I mean, it was such a strong showing out the gate. I have a hard time believing it won't be that again.
I mean, we saw it earlier in our previous series. I believe it was Brainerd who took game 1, and then it was Rochester just full force for the rest of the series. So, I mean, we could see a big turnaround here for Minneapolis. Just get that feeler game out of the way. But if we start like that, it's going to be a very short series. Mogi with a power shot is going to get the early goal for Bemidji.
And again, it just feels like Minneapolis are in a boost drought. They're struggling so bad. I think that's where a lot of the goals are coming from, is that they're just trying whatever they could do to get any sort of boost, and it's making it so they have no one back. And Bemidji just almost getting relative to Prem level, these are like open nets.
Yeah, I mean, and especially with something like that finding its way in, it's kind of hard to argue for Minneapolis at this point. They've got to find their footing if they want to stay alive in this series. That's just, oh, Adamak. That's a tough spot to be in. At that point, just brush it off, go next at this point. But I did just a little fun little fact here we have for just today. We have seen the second overall, third overall, and fourth overall picks in Prem playing today. Brian and Hahabu both playing against each other in the previous series, and now we see Mogi, who was that fourth overall. I feel like we should have seen Hexy at some point during this broadcast, but I believe they had to reschedule their game till later on next week. So won't be seeing them this time, but probably sometime later in the season. But now we see Minneapolis just trying to get anything at this point, get a goal to start the momentum for yourselves. But now it's just a send on net. No one's there. Oh, big reach for Hawk, able to get the save, but still under a lot of pressure. Brickwall playing this one slow, goes for the reset, but not able to get it past that defense. Katomac gets one, Hawk gets the follow, but neither of them have a ton of boost to work with. There goes Busy with a very empty tank, but still keeping this away at this point, just buying space to try and get teammates to have boost again.
I mean, it has been an offensive masterclass from Bemidji. A minute and 15 in, they were up 7 shots to 1. I mean, 75 seconds is all it took for them to get 7 shots on net and only allow 1. They have to be feeling themselves right now because they're just threatening on every facet. And that, again, it feels like Minneapolis are just reaching, hoping to get the ball off their side as they're just getting pelted over and over. They're having such a rough time. Getting a call from J-Bay, not realizing I'm casting absolute troll. As we see now, Minneapolis throws it at the backboard. Ogie catches it, tries to take it across, gets a 50 with Kato, and again, it feels like Bemidji have been in control all game.
I mean, we have rarely seen this blue half of the field. We're all the way on the back of it, but I wonder how long that's going to last. Doesn't look like too much longer as Mogi pushing all the way back down to that Minneapolis quarter. Brick Wall sends that one off corner. Katomac has possession, but not a lot of boost. Chip and Mogi waiting in the wings, full tanks and ready to pounce, but not quite able to get a goal out of it as that one finds its way. Bit of solid communication there actually from Kato and Busy to try and keep the double commit from happening in front of the net. Mogi with control, goes low, doesn't get the reset. Now we push downfield, but Minneapolis, not a ton of boost to work with. I don't think they're going to be able to get very much out of this play as Busy plays up high. Kato puts that one on target. Chip able to get the save and send it away to corner. Mogi picking this one up, getting that corner boost away as well. Pass downfield. Bit of chaos there at that midfield line as multiple people got a hand on the ball. Ends up going in favor of Bemidji. And now entering into the final minute and a half here, it's looking harder and harder for Minneapolis to come back at this point.
Yeah, I mean, we're at the point where you have more minutes in the game than you do shots. And it's just tough to see Minneapolis really even try to start mounting a comeback. I mean, who would have thought that Bemidji would be as in control of the series as they have been, unless you are a Bemidji player or Ben himself. I mean, golly, they've been in control this whole time. As I say that, Busy does get an opportunity, but even with no boost, Mogi gets the save. And Brick Wall now gets some control. Tries to get it over one, couldn't quite get it, but Chip is there. Does get it past on the backboard. Kato with the clear, Mogi with the 50. And again, it feels like they can't generate any sort of offense. Every little touch does nothing. And now Mogi gets an opportunity to try to get it past Busy. Doesn't quite get there. Brick Wall with the clear. And 30 seconds left. They are, just like their name, they are hoping for some sort of miracle to try to stay in the series.
I mean, there's still potential for them to come back here. They've got to get it off of their half, but every single time they get a touch, there's a Bemidji player waiting. Brick Wall almost getting a third and closing this game 2 out, but Kato looking to play, goes for the bump on Mogi. Busy looking to get the follow-up, gets it off the backboard. It's in the shooting lane, but Hawk not able to get up fast enough. As that one sent off corner. Busy with the follow, has boost, has the control. The demo on the third man. Here's potential for Minneapolis, but it gets sent away by the Brick Wall. That ball is still up. looking to get maybe one to go into game 3, but they aren't able to. Bemidji now on series point.
I mean, it's just tough out here when I mean Mogi is out shooting your entire team on his own. You pair up Chip and Brooke Wall, they're out shooting your team as well. I mean, very rarely do you see 11 shots to 4, and the team with 4 shots is gonna be anywhere near winning. I mean, it hasn't felt close at all. I'm not sure what's going on the Minneapolis side. I don't know what their standings are currently, their record. But looking at this, I mean, I don't see how Bemidji isn't one of the best teams because they're playing with a sub for their second man and just absolutely running the series.
Currently, just looking at standings from week 1, Minneapolis is currently after the Musketeers were able to get that sweep earlier against Bloomington. Minneapolis now sitting at the bottom of Premier. Meanwhile, Bemidji is currently sitting in 3rd, pending this series. So we will see. There's one series that is not going to be played today. That was the Omaha Duluth series I mentioned earlier. So we will get results on that later next week. But still, I mean, looking at the standings, I know it's only been a week, but it's kind of tough to back Minneapolis at this point. They have such solid players, but it feels like they just can't seem to get cohesive with each other enough to be able to beat a roster as strong as Bemidji, even with the sub.
Yeah, and another part of it, I mean, Minneapolis, the franchise that won it all last season, but Mogi, the player that won it all last season, playing against his former franchise. I mean, I expected the Miracles to at least have some sort of, mindset of we did win Prem last season. Yes, it wasn't all of us, rostered or anything, but Eli, who is the GM, was part of that. So trying to put together a winning culture early on, and this has just got to be really tough for them as a whole, especially running up against Mogi in the buzzsaw that is this Bemidji offense. I mean, they are absolutely, at this point, just toying with them as they get another shot on goal. Mogi almost scores one with no boost, and just a lot of awkwardness coming out. Kato in a breakout now. That hasn't been the case this whole time. No, I feel like I would have caught it early.
No, he was definitely in effect for most of the series. But yeah, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, Minneapolis also has 2 All-Stars from last season on their roster as well, and it feels like they're not playing at full strength. Maybe it's just a little bit of a slow start. Maybe there's a little bit of a chemistry block, but I feel like you expect a little bit of a higher performance out of these players. Maybe we'll see it going into this game 3. I mean, I think this is the longest we've gone in the series without somebody scoring. Nope, that's not true because is it? I can't remember.
It might be.
I think
yeah, I think Bemidji scored within the first. Well, the first game Minneapolis scored super early. Second game Bemidji scored with a kickoff goal. And as I say that now, Minneapolis gets to be on the board first again. Hopefully it's indicative of better things to come for them if you're a Minneapolis fan. If you're a Bemidji fan, I mean, it's just 1 goal. You're up 2 games. It's not really any sweat off your back. But they do get to walk away with 1, which has got to be great for their mental.
And I mean, starting off with a lead, I feel like they've also kind of just been a little bit more reserved. Maybe it's also just a mentality thing, okay, well, we're down at this point, so maybe...
No.
Well, maybe we can, maybe just not caring is the strategy, but it feels like every single time that Minneapolis has had something on net, Mogi with the booty touch right there, able to get it on target. And now 3:15 on the clock, and it's a tie ball game once again.
And I mean, as soon as I said this is the momentum they need, that's got to be such a tough goal to have happen to you, because that was so scuffed. I mean, you said it yourself. Just the goofiest touch possible to score. Busy couldn't get back because of no boost. Again, feeling like that's a trend in this whole series is just not having any boost and Bemidji being in control the whole time. Brick wall hits the backboard. Kato with a clear. We see Chip now gets a beat. Mogi is mid. Does get demoed by Busy. Hawk with an opportunity here. Goes for the pinch. Does get it off the backboard. Can Busy get a redirect? Almost gets it in. Chip with a nice clear. Brick wall with the follow-up. Kato now caught out awkward. Pushed up a little too far. Does get a nice touch up the wall. Brick wall is there to follow it up. And we're seeing a little bit more life come out of the side of Minneapolis.
Definitely need it going into this game 3. I mean, at this point, you have to complete the reverse sweep. There's no reason to pull punches at this point. There's no reason to play safe. You got to get something going because whatever you've been doing is not working. So finding any weakness that you can in the opposing team is definitely the recipe for success. But we see now Bemidji pushing downfield. Mogi going for the double reset, not quite able to get it past that last defender. Chip getting one. Mogi on the follow, goes for the fake. Brick wall gonna pick this one up. Not a lot of boost to work with though. Chip immediately on the attack. Is now kind of just bouncing around in that Minneapolis corner. Busy picking this one up. Does not have any boost in that tank. Just gonna play this one slow. Awkward 50. Hawk not really able to get a hand on this. It's an opportunity for Bemidji, but they're able to keep that one away. As now Chip sends out mid. Brick wall sends out one on target, and it rolls off of the low hitbox of the breakout from Katamak, and now Bemidji sitting up 2-1, 1:14 left in the game.
I mean, how unfortunate, the car switch potentially being the downfall of that second goal. I mean, he had the entire net to shoot at, and he shot right at the top of the breakout. Almost nothing you could do to react in time. And Bemidji now 1 minute away from closing out a sweep. And I mean, absolutely eating my words right now. Bemidji have been just holding on to this series and never letting go from the first game. I mean, we saw the first goal and I thought, you know, that was going to be how the entire series went. But no, Bemidji just completely running away with it at this point, with a lot of demos coming out in the final minute. Busy now with no boost. Does get 50. Mogi gets a 50. No boost on either side here. Mogi gets a flick over 2. Can anyone get back? Hawk does get it clear. 30 seconds now. Minneapolis have to try to tie it up. Mogi tries to get a 50 on Busy. Busy with the clear. Kato is up. Brick wall is up. Can he get another touch? Can't. Bemidji keeping it on the orange side for the entirety of this last minute. Hawk gets one chance here. Gets it around 1. Can he get it to Kato? Kato tries to drop it in. Couldn't quite finish it. Busy is there. Puts a shot on net. Mogi with a save. With 3 seconds left, Kato has to try to get a clear. Can't quite do it. Mogi tries to put it down in the middle of the field. Brick wall with the follow. Doing anything they can to try to kill this ball. It is still up. And they have an opportunity, but a lack of trust from Minneapolis can be the downfall here. I mean, it's been double commit after double commit. Kato now sent out the backboard. Chip a little awkward. And the ball is still up. I cannot believe it.
There it goes. That's going to be it. Bemidji, a 3-0 sweep. 2 sweeps today from one from Bemidji, one from Moorhead. I mean, and I'm 0 for 3 on predictions today, so I'm never making a prediction ever again for the rest of my life, I swear.
Yeah, if I'm a gambling man, I'm going to listen to what you pick first from here on out, because
and pick the opposite.
golly, that's a tough spot to be. I mean, even when all signs pointed to Minneapolis having a good opportunity here, it didn't fall that way, unfortunately, for Minneapolis. Bemidji, I mean, goodness, they had a stellar offense. They didn't even really have to play defense because of it. And Mogi making a strong case for another really good season and another potential championship. I mean, it's tough to argue otherwise. That was, even throughout all the awkwardness, getting a 3-0 after that is, I mean, it's tough to deny that, you know, Mogi deserved everything that he got last season and potentially more now.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like at that point, a strategy change needs to happen for Minneapolis, because I don't think anybody played particularly bad. It feels like Bemidji played a lot more cohesive as a team in that one, and it just ended up working out in their favor a lot better. So, but looking at the schedule, we are all done for today. Bloomington, unfortunately, falling to a 3-0 sweep from Moorhead. Rochester able to fight against Brainerd, get that 3-1, and Bemidji getting that 3-0 against Minneapolis.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's been a really good day. A lot of quick series day. Not the most common thing for Prem, but definitely not unheard of. And I mean, everyone played fantastic. I can't, like you said, can't fault anybody. I think it was just a little bit, like you said, a lot more cohesive gameplay from Bemidji. Minneapolis looked a little bit more scattered, not necessarily cohesive, but I mean, it is what it is. We are incredibly close to the major here, as you guys can see. I mean, we are 2 weeks away. I know it seems really like it came on fast, but it is the week, or I guess the fourth week of actual gameplay is Major 1. So we've got one more week after this. After that, it'll be Major 1 and the trade window. And, you know, like you said, they didn't all play bad, but they weren't cohesive. And that's one of the biggest things is the chemistry. Maybe that team is looking to do something at this trade window. They are all, honestly, all-star players, like you said. And so the fact that something's not clicking, maybe it is just the scenery. So I'm excited to see kind of what happens at this first trade window. I think this season's going to be really crazy. We got a lot of depth in the signups. So honestly, anything can happen. But I appreciate everyone for showing up today, and thank you all so much. All the love, all the positivity, and any of the subs. I didn't get to see any come through, but you know, appreciate all the Prime subs and everything. You guys make a massive difference for us. And when these drop, when they will drop later this season, you guys have to cop some MCS jerseys. I'm sure there's going to be some leaks from AK here eventually. So I'm excited to get those out. But thank you guys all so much, and we will see you again next week.
Way too many faces in the crowd, but I think that I see you. One too many drinks got me changing up the way that I need you. Now we're both at a bar, acting like it's not hard, trying to feel something different. Talk to somebody new, kinda wish it was you, kinda numb to the feeling. Now that you're gone, they say time should heal, but